Well, here we are. We finally made it, and it's now the seventh season of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, welcoming you all back to the Raiders Rambles. And joining me, as always, is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Hello! Hey guys, Happy New Year! Happy 2024. So glad we all survived to be in the future. And
Yeah,
when I
sure
say
did.
future, I'm talking about like the 1980s where they felt like the 2020s would be like the post-apocalyptic freaking world. So I'm super glad that
Um,
season 7 is not aborted by the robot agenda.
well, don't jump the gun just yet.
Much love, guys.
Mhm. Well, now that we're here and we've survived everything the world has thrown at us for all these years, it's a miracle sometimes, isn't it? Oh, you
Yeah,
bet.
sure is.
Now, joining us as always is our wonderful interim host, Noble.
Ooga booga booga.
Stupid dog, you make me look bad.
Yeah.
Gonna give us the scares.
Hello from Germany. Was it Gamer
You
HD?
got, if you wanted to do that convincingly, you just say Guten Tag.
No, I was
Ah,
reading a comment.
Uh,
ah.
Is it on
oh
YouTube
well,
or?
all good, all good. Hello for Joan DEDE. German flag emojis. All good though. Well, at least it's good to know we've got people from all over the world tuning in, so we're all good. And as always, joining us on the show, we have Gil.
Hey guys, how's it going? Another day, another podcast, another dollar, another day in paradise, right?
Yeah, right on.
And yeah, we're just here to continue the cycle as the world keeps turning.
Yeah, sure is. Another year, another rotation of the earth and another reason to party.
Pretty
Good
much.
point. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what Christmas and New Year's Eve, well, what New Year's is, and I mean, not to mention that the birthday party of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. The reason why we all live for Christmas.
Bro is 2024 years old.
Well, it's
Oh,
2023 years old to date, but he's still alive. He's still the king.
Tough course. So is God.
Indeed. So once again, we got to say, happy birthday, Jesus Christ. May your reign be eternal.
And of course, protect us from all the demons.
Indeed.
well,
Now,
a lot of people in the Christian world, not only just in America, but across, you know, multiple countries celebrated Christmas. And, the whole holiday season, New Year's. So I'm kind of curious, guys. What what sort of things did you do on the holidays?
I well, I had spent some time with friends and family, so that was good too. And
well,
I went to look around for some New Year's party. No, fuck, New Year's Eve party around, but like nothing. I just found nothing for whatever reason too. I was looking around like, where the
oh,
fuck are
I
where the fireworks? Like nothing. There was just a couple of bars and restaurants working. Sure, I mean I get it.
isn't it
A lot of people don't want to work on the New Year's
isn't
Eve,
it
but
grand? I
mm,
know how you feel that not wanting to work on New Year's.
yeah, that's the thing. But then again, I mean, you got, let's say, the Bidenomics that really force people to be working on New Year's Eve. So, I mean, kudos to them, right?
I used to work on New Year's Eve. I only made $10 for the whole day.
Really, the
Well, in
entire
that case,
day.
why even bother working then? Like, might as well just $10 is whatever.
Yeah, you sort
Namely
of
because
even
I was
wonder
sitting at
why.
someone's house watching their pet. So
Oh,
Ah.
pet sitting. That's cute.
Well, pet sitting can be quite profitable if given.
yeah, no, the person I was working for not profitable whatsoever. I mean, shit.
Yikes.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that. To be fair, but we do
Oh,
have.
well.
I mean, Jolt, you went on like a 2-week adventure during the holiday
It's
season.
right. I went on a 2-week vacation. You're right, 100%.
Oh, incredible! You mean how was that? I mean,
Ah,
what
dude,
happened there?
I went to the wonderful country of South Korea.
Hey, South Korea.
Oh,
That's
no
right.
way. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. And indeed, it was a grand old time.
I mean, your ears are probably full of K-pop for one, and your belly's probably full of ramen. Well, spicy ramen and other delicious goodies, eh?
I mean, you'd be surprised actually. There's a lot. Even Korea surprised me in lots of great ways.
Really?
K-pop, they're a bit low key about it in public settings and what have you. And a lot of the cafes and lobbies I went to ended up playing, cozy music. Being the season and what have you. It's winter.
Ah, that's good.
So it's
Interesting.
a really good
So,
mood.
was this the first time you ever went to Korea?
Absolutely, it's the first time in my life that I went with as a family vacation that we went to South Korea.
Oh, wow.
And
So that must have been totally like culture shock, right? Like, what did they
no,
do during Christmas?
look, at the end, it would be if depending on what your cultural background may be, but me myself being Asian,
Mm,
suppose I'm kind of
okay.
used to it, unsurprised. There were a couple of culture shocks, but I'm also not surprised at the same time.
You enjoyed it as best you could, right?
I mean, sure, you're Asian, but like you live in Australia, right? So, like
That's
going
right.
to a
But
totally different country for the
yes,
first time, I mean, that might be something different, you know?
yes, and then because I've traveled abroad, like in a good part of my life, and experienced like the chaotic pedestrian-filled streets and markets at night, and in certain other Asian countries, I'm like, oh, here we go. And yeah, that reminds me. Yes, there's South Korea, of course, is full of nothing but chaotic markets at night. So
But
Mm.
yeah, like in the urban areas for sure. But you also went to some other places too, like some national parks and all kinds of different
actually,
environments.
yes, actually. I did have to. Actually, you know what? The first thing I wanted to do, though, I think that what everybody wants to ask me: did you go and see and peek through North Korea? The answer to that is actually yes. I did get to peek into North Korea.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Yes. Okay. I mean, no,
did they yell at you like orange dog bad?
no, they should have yelled at me like saying
What
purple
is it like?
squirrel. What the
Purple
fuck is
squirrel evil.
Oh
yes.
shit, yeah, it was Joel, not Avir. God,
Well,
Oh,
sorry about that.
guys,
what's everyone going off about with this whole North Korean thing anyway? I'm a little confused. I mean,
guys,
if you got the money, you can.
check this picture out.
I mean, yes.
Do you know what this
clearly
is?
see-
Yeah, I know what this
Can
is.
you
It's
see
actually
what's on the flag right there?
yeah, that over there is actually a propaganda weapon of like the Cold War.
That's
So
right.
of course, so the thing is, for people who don't know what that is, so picture yourself back in the 1970s or 1960s, where like North and South Korea have just split in half, North and South, right? And since people actually believed that at the time North Korea was like taking the lead, was the best place in the world, they jump over the border to join North Korea. But when they get there, I mean, all that structure was just a ruse. And now they're stuck in North Korea, while some people managed to jump to the southern part of Korea. Hey, I mean, like they got there.
Well, it was an empty city. You know, it was basically, like you said, a propaganda village. But that tower with the flag is actually, I believe, at one point it was the tallest flag point in the world. I'm not sure if it still is right now, but at one point, yeah, it was.
you know,
And the fact that you got a picture of that city right across the border, oh man, that is
yeah,
so cool.
that tour guide said a couple of things as much.
That's
Like that whole
crazy.
place, that whole area right there is I know to the side is an industrial complex, but that
Mhm.
flagpole is actually the north. My tour guide said the north and the south got into a sort
It's
of
like a
pissing
flagpole
contest
war.
with with who could hoist the flag the highest, and eventually the south just kind of backed out while the north just kept raising their
So
flag.
this is still the tallest one then.
I'm not
I
sure
mean,
Probably, right?
in
Well,
the world,
between the
but
two, it is.
yeah, in the two, it definitely is
I,
100%.
Oh
I
man.
mean, to be honest, oh, nice. But yeah, but to be honest, nowadays we're even able to put like this flag up in space if we really wanted to.
Right, but but the sheer fact of the matter is, people come here. Lots of people come here to the droves to peer into North Korea, and
Yes,
like
and this is the flag of the dear leader.
right, and
So show your respect.
and the only other thing that's also tall here is, of course, that tower up on the mountain is a GPS signal jammer.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So that way,
satellite. So
Wait,
yeah,
what?
yeah, a jammer.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realize that.
Well, no, you
So
did.
so that if you're going to this town, right? Like if their propaganda worked and someone wanted to like defect and they're like, oh, that looks like a cool town, and then they go there and they realize all the buildings are abandoned, and then like their cell phone doesn't work. And it's like, what the crap? Like,
yeah,
what
but
do I do?
no, it's
And then
more
a
it's
bunch
more
of
to
armed
keep
soldiers come around of nowhere.
it's more to
Oh
keep
boy.
external affairs from spying on North Korea with their satellites and what have you. So yeah, but
Yeah,
you know what? Speaking of propaganda and stuff, sorry. Yes, it's true. North Korea blasts out propaganda, while my tour guide says the South blasts K-pop at the north.
Wait, so this is going on at the same time? Like South Korea's blasting some K-pop, and then you got North Korea shouting about their dear leader dictator.
Sure
What
is.
the bonkers?
Well, this is the thing that confuses me, because if you've got enough money, you can actually pay someone to ship you off first to China and then to North Korea. If
Since,
you actually wanted to go there, there are tour guides and there are people who will go in and they'll, take a look around North Korea, see all the fancy spots, and you can find videos on it on YouTube too. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it though.
Oh no.
Well, I wouldn't get too close. So yeah, I agree with you there, Noble.
Yeah,
No
the one
way.
person got accused of stealing a flag. He was
Nope,
allegedly
nope.
tortured, got
He
back
was
to the
fucked.
US, and I think he died like a week later or something.
He did, yeah, because the
Yeah.
North Korean authorities decided, like, you know what? He's on the verge of death. Let's just send him back anyway. After we did all this horrific stuff to him. Yeah, Otto Warmbier. God bless
So
him.
just be careful when you go on holidays. Yeah.
But when you go on holidays to different countries, of course, because you have to understand, like, there's different laws that are implemented in different countries. Like, if you were to go to Saudi Arabia,
Don't
Yeah.
snog in public.
you can't do that. No, you can't. Otherwise, you're gonna go to jail. Okay, bad thing to do.
To smoke in public.
No,
It depends
snog.
on what country.
Kiss.
Oh, okay.
Smoking too, yeah.
Yeah, well, again,
it
it depends.
depends.
Drinking is illegal in some countries. I think in like the United Arab Emirates, they have some places where it is legal because like private companies own the businesses and they have like laws or whatever. But if you were to go outside and like have a beer, yep,
You're fucked.
5 years in prison for you. Not fun.
Yeah. So at the
Oh,
yeah.
I can't wait till YouTube starts having shit like that as a dare. Spend
my
like 5
God.
years in a foreign prison. Or
Oh,
something.
they've done that before. Like when people have went to like Italy and then they desecrated their monuments. Yeah, they got arrested for that.
Yeah, that's right. That happened there too. Like,
Yep.
god damn.
The Colosseum. You saw that,
There
right?
was this stuff in Japan recently that just made me cringe. I mean, why?
Well, honestly, I'm kind of curious about Jolt.
Like,
Yeah.
what else did you do there?
Yeah,
Did you go to
I
like
mean,
different parks or?
yeah, I did actually. Speaking of national parks, I mean, you do have to escape from leave the capital for at least an hour and a bit to get to nature because Asian countries don't really believe in green space in the cities.
Well, yeah, it's like an hour away. You know, like you're going
Yeah.
out. Okay.
And of course, in the cities are nothing but like a massive, urban jungle with towers and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Really?
Okay.
But yes, we went to a place called Nami Island for one, and it's actually built. Fun fact: when we saw it as its own little Republic of Naminara.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, even though it's actually within the confines of South Korea, and it's actually you take a little ferry there. That's like for like about 5 minutes or so, and you're there.
Hmm.
Because it's still on the main, it's still inside in the mountains actually.
Right. Right.
And there it is.
Oh, wow, that's a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Indeed, sure is.
That's incredible.
It's
freaking
and
mountains in the
really what it
background?
is, it's actually it's a really really nice, out there, and it's nice on all seasons, and it's its own wonderland, especially in winter because when we went there was a cold snap. The temperature went to -12 Celsius, actually, and so what you get is these
What? Oh, that
ice
looks a little
sculptures
creepy.
and fountains of
That looks a little
What the hell
creepy.
is that?
yeah.
Is it like an art installation?
Wow, what is that in the background? That can't be natural, can it?
It looks like one of those like 1980s dark fantasy castles, doesn't it?
Right.
No, it looks like something that Princess Elsa would build if she was like in a rage.
Yeah, you're not entirely wrong.
It's my ice fortress, god damn it! Don't judge me.
Yeah, no, you're not entirely wrong. And
But that looks pretty damn cool.
Doesn't it? Like, goddamn.
yeah, and I think another one of the defining features of Nami Island is just the nice little rows of redwoods, which
Hmm.
just stretch on for like just
Oh,
goes
that's
and goes.
really nice. I
I
love the
too.
aesthetic of like the balloons there.
Looks very welcoming too.
It really does feel like a winter wonderland, if anything at that.
Yeah.
But no snow. Wait, is there snow?
Actually-
Can't tell.
There actually was snow, but before we get to that, just to show
Okay, tell
you,
that.
yeah, Nami Island has actually they really really love goblins.
Huh. Look at
They
that.
have
And
all these statues of goblins and little,
a 90s style anime goblin. That's adorable. I like that.
yeah. There's even lots of statues of goblins here and there, and
Oh wow, look at that. Okay. So that's some like ye oldie like folklore sort of installations. Very
Right.
interesting.
yeah, and
Well
there's
kept too.
scattered all around the island. There's goblin statues.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but as to your question pertaining snow, yeah, there's actually no mountains on the island, but
So much snow.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
it really feels like a literal nice whimsical place.
Sure is. Like, goddamn.
Guys, I just want to highlight a comment from here.
It was neat.
Gamer HD says hello from Germany.
Yeah, I think we know Noble said
That's
that.
incredible,
Yeah, I
man.
said that when we
Yo,
started.
in Germany
Yeah.
right now? That's
Yeah.
Oh,
awesome.
it was there probably. Point is,
Right on.
yeah, it was highlighted on earlier
Hey,
on.
I'm in the United States. Jolt is in Australia. We're all over the damn world.
Yep.
Yeah, and I miss Korea already, and it's
Mr. Worldwide.
yeah.
Well,
That's the thing. I've actually cement. You know what? I'm straight up gonna say this that my fursuit has now been traveled onto his fourth country.
yeah, that's incredible, man.
Right. I mean Australia, United States, New Zealand, and now South Korea.
Hmm.
That's the list. And
Once it reaches 18, are you going to do some pin-ups?
well, at that point, I'd probably be like, have a girl in every port. Once it, girl in every country. I digress. But the point is,
Mm.
yeah, one photo of my suit in every country, ideally.
Well,
Uh,
that'd be like 195 countries. So good
Yeah.
luck with
e-
that.
Yeah.
well, and again, not every country is gonna be like an easy experience too.
Much less, to bring a suit into. But, that's a challenge. But I know you've kind of wanted this. You've kind of waited for this. And yes, Jolty has indeed set foot in South Korea.
All the way in South Korea.
That's right.
Look like you're just enjoying yourself over there too. Have a nice picnic by the waterfall.
Yeah. Yeah, that is an incredible shot.
Yeah, like the waterfall out there is actually incredible, and to get there, we had to go to a place called Jeju Island. We flew there south of Seoul for 1 hour, and it's actually the Hawaii of South Korea.
How tall is that
that.
waterfall? I mean, that must be what, like 50 feet? Maybe 80?
Probably give or take, but it's the only Jongbang waterfall is the only waterfall in the world that known that lets out right into the ocean.
Really?
Wow! Seriously?
Yeah, like as far as I know, the waterfalls down here that we have go into streams and that. But this is something else. Like I look on the other side and it's like, yeah, there's nothing but ocean.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Indeed. Indeed. And then you've got things like these. Fun truth, actually, Jongbang Waterfall has a sister waterfall a few minutes away.
Really?
And, yeah.
Am I the only one who thinks that this gives me like Lord of the Rings vibes?
Actually, no. It really is, and it really does seem like it's a good set piece. Like just the way it's all constructed and the outlets, just kind of making it through and like giving it the effect that it is indeed a waterfall. But yeah, no, it's wonderful. Needless to say, I did spend my Christmas in South Korea, and yeah, they go bigger there.
Sure is.
Yeah, right on, man.
I mean, what can
Oh,
you
it's
say? I
freaking
mean, now
awesome.
South Korea is majority Catholic, and they they celebrate it. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Right?
crazy though. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I suppose that shall be that, and I hope But now to get into the main swing of things, though, 2020, we now finally hit 2024. I guess what's everybody really expecting on the cards this year, in and outside of furry?
I mean, it's hard to say because 2024 is just starting, and like we have absolutely no idea, how this year's gonna be. Some people are hopeful, some people only are looking at news and just having a very bad feeling about what's to come.
Right. All right. I know what you mean.
Okay.
We're gonna see how the cards, how the chips fall, take things one at a time, and see what new developments happen.
Yeah, and especially like what kind of like clowns their fates are gonna be too. Especially thanks to Biden and Bidenomics, for
Right. But
example.
that aside, I understand it's a big year, but that's probably a story for that's probably a topic for another time.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's. Oh. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. But I think what can we expect more in the furry side of things? I guess like more,
Well,
Uh,
if that's a serious question, then I will say this:
we do have some.
I am more optimistic. You know, I think we can just like enjoy ourselves and have our furry fandom and everything.
Well,
But
especially.
I'm not looking for like, some politically driven, some bullshit that just
right?
alienates people. I'm not
Yeah,
about that.
and I guess the exhibit A is probably like Anthro New England, which is of course still kept true to the whole vaccination mandates thing,
I think
considering
if
that
they
it's
just got
2020.
rid of that, like it would be fine. Like if you were just going to be a furry con and just like not give a flying crap about like whatever they're doing
Right, but
politically.
it's Anthro New England.
I know. Yeah, and that's a bummer. But we just started 2024, so I'm hoping that this year will be better. We're not going to have this kind of woke nonsense that inhibits people. You know, not really a big fan of the walking on eggshells and trying to pretend to help people and not be offended and all that stupid crap that they try to shove
Yeah,
down your throats every day.
yeah,
I'm not
and they
about that crap either. The whole
but
LGBTQW rainbow
the fact
people.
is,
Not
A
about
and
it.
E is has still doubled down on this sort of thing,
I
and
know, and
and
that's
every other con seems to just be relaxing it out. So
Mm-hmm.
well, so long as they don't have like the vaccine passports anymore. I mean, that's a good step in the right direction, I guess.
Yeah, and again, I mean, all that was just a fucking sham in the first place. Like, goddamn.
It was. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. So, what do you think about that?
I despise it. I despised all of it, and I despise the people who pushed it even more too.
mm.
So, what do you think about conventions that wanted people to be vaxxed before they can even go?
Yeah,
Well, at that point,
the
let the numbers speak for themselves.
yeah, I mean, because I mean, if they're pulling that kind of shit, then your best bet is just fucking dip.
Yeah, I'm not going to those to those either. So yeah,
No,
fair
no,
fair
no.
point.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Anyway,
here's a comment that we have to that we interested to highlight of Nvixity. What you mean shoving belief down throats? That will furries do to kids.
Wait,
Well,
do they not know what that means? Are they
Nvixity,
stupid?
yeah, the Nvixity comment. Well, actually, no. He's not really too stupid. I mean, I get his point too, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta know that the furry fandom is pretty much like a cookie cutter image of society. You got all sorts of people there too, good, bad, and like, goddamn, it's like a total shit show what the fandom is too. But no, I don't think you're dumb. I don't think you're dumb in Vic City
Oh,
because
good.
yeah, because again, I mean, like a bit of a personal side note. I have been on the internet long enough that I mean, some fandoms, let's say like MLP, whatnot too. You think they look all innocent and cutesy, but the more you look into it, you might find something that could potentially fucking traumatize you, right?
Eh, depending, I guess.
You know what I mean. But yeah. By the way, that brings us to an interesting point too. Hey, Jolt, what was the thing about North Carolina and E621 that the bill that they were pushing?
right.
Did it got passed? By the way.
Now here's something that you've to start with the main items we did want to talk about. E621, I know like a certain favorite of furries, seems to be inaccessible in the state of North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. There we go.
Yeah, just in the state of North Carolina, and it's the website there is just it's inaccessible.
I mean, I was looking at it a little too. I mean that it is accessible, but you need to do an age verification. You see, I mean, I can sort of see why too, especially with the trends that happen in society too. One of them is, of course, the iPad kids. You know, the
Ah,
brain rot generation.
But I think it's more. There's actually more to it than that. So we've got an
Oh,
article
there's
here to
always
show
more
for
to
you.
that.
Actually, hang on a second. All right.
The Mary Sue. Oh boy. Are you a furry in North Carolina with a proclivity for an adult content? You may not be able to access one of your favorite websites anymore. Before the clock struck on 12 on New Year's Eve, the internet's most popular furry website pulled access from its North Carolina users over a new state law. That's right, E61 is down for the state. Due to current and legal situation in North Carolina, the uncertainty surrounding we will be blocking access to e61.net from North Carolina until we can consult our legal counsel on this matter. The site said in an official announcement published on December 31st, we did not count this decision lightly and we will do what we can to rectify and remedy the situation so that we can restore access to those users affected by this matter. As of January 2nd, E621 has meeting a plan had planned to receive further legal guidance on the matter. We will try to update soon for all, the website tweeted.
this is very concerning.
Indeed, it is too.
I'm not even going to go into like I'm not going to delve into the details of like what the legislation specifically is against or whatever. The fact that a state in America is able to ban a website from their users who live in the state. See, that is where it becomes concerning. I don't give a fuck about your content, okay? Uh, you can have something bad, something good, something whatever content. That's not really the main issue. The main issue is anyone who uses this website, they're no longer even able to access it. So that's a fucking problem when you think about it, right?
Sure is.
So
I
what do you
would
do in
like to
that
know.
situation? Well, uh, doesn't this sound kind of like illegal? If a state can ban a website that's open to the entire planet, kind of
First off,
weird.
the two questions I would have is whether or not this is going to affect Fur Affinity, because that'd be funny. And more importantly, was the website itself banned, or is something of the content basically could get them into trouble?
That is a good point too, because I mean the precedent that it's setting up is what could be for one could pretty much be the same thing for everyone.
I don't really think anything
Vera,
that
the
that
way
they.
you were putting it is that
What?
the state itself had banned E621. The news article reads as if no, the website blocked access for anyone in the state just so the users don't get into trouble.
Yeah, that is true.
And how do you block people in the state for that? It's messed up. Like at that point, wouldn't you just want to get like a VPN?
I
You're
mean,
like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
from
at that
Germany or
point.
whatever. Sure, whatever.
Yeah,
It's
at
the
that
same
point.
as putting up a sign saying we can only sell alcohol to people who are like 21 or 18 or whatever. I mean, shit.
Yeah, so go to another country where you can sell it at like 18.
yeah, but at the same time is well, I mean, sure, I mean, I see their point too. I mean, E621 is no doubt a porn site, but at the same time, I mean, like you gotta keep in mind too. I mean, you gotta sort of have a final way to restrict, some uh, to filter the traffic flow to something that's more acceptable. Sure, I mean I get the point, and at the same time, I mean I can already see where this originates from. Like, if you're one of those like naggy single mom Karens who just found out what E621 is and
Oh,
writes up to all
it's
the politicians and oh this, oh that, only I matter, no one else is right because this and that, right?
Yeah, I guess.
but really though, like what the main thing, it wasn't just E621. There were some other sites too, and what's really happened is that North Carolina has an age verification enforcement act for that sort of thing. So now, when
So
it
the
says,
entire state.
Okay, so this would affect things like DeviantArt for Affinity, a shit ton of websites that host questionable material.
Yeah, I wonder why. Oh, I mean, the only problem is that what kind of services are they going to implement, and what sort of bullshit will that bring along the way?
See, Avera, all they're doing is covering their ass legally because at this point they don't want to get themselves into trouble or potentially the people using their website into
Well,
trouble.
yeah, of course. I mean, like that's why that they're so just gray about these issues. Of course they would be.
Oh yeah, because we got a couple of smart asses who will just be able to bend the law in with their secret little ways, eh?
Yeah, they have a lot of money and a lot of power.
And a lot of time to waste on their hands too.
Yeah, that's true.
I forgot about that. Time is actually one of the best resources anyone can have these days. Problem is
I,
like what they're doing with it.
I think one of us or one of our friends or somebody should make Steamboat Willie just fucking the brains out of Minnie Mouse. Yeah, he could totally do it.
Don't give
Absolutely,
the
100%.
fanny. Don't be giving the fannies any ideas now.
Hey, and put that on a T-shirt and sell it. Why not?
Jesus
It's
Christ.
public domain. Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
It's public domain, man. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
That is true. The Steamboat
And
Willie.
now-
That is
now
what it is.
yeah, and now that's actually made possible because since the turn of the year, certain items like Steamboat Willie,
Mhm.
Peter Pan, and classical, Disney items have entered the public domain.
Yeah, well, Steamboat Willie's got a big dick.
Well,
the
I mean,
horror.
Right. And now
Yeah.
that this has happened, now fans can get their hands on the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse, and straight
do
up
whatever they
just-
can with
yeah.
it.
And now the first thing that fans want to do is they make horror versions of Mickey Mouse, the same vein that they did when Winnie the Pooh.
It's interesting that this is the first thing that came up, and you're right, Jolt. This is the first thing that happened with Winnie the Pooh, in regards to the whole horror theme. But now we're looking at Steamboat Willie. Now, there is something I wanted to say about this.
Yes.
Granted, when it comes to copyright laws, there is a difference between copyright laws and trademarks. Okay.
Oh yeah, there is a difference indeed.
There is. So copyright, it used to be 14 years, okay? In like the fucking 1870s. And then it was Disney that helped create the new platform. I believe it was 1998 was something called the hold on, I have a picture of this. Basically, Disney was trying to hold on to their ideas, their IPs, as long as they possibly could, for at least 95 years. And now that Steamboat Willie came out in 1928, been 95 years now, it's in public domain. But the problem is Mickey Mouse has been changed and utilized in different ways.
AI is truly a blessing, isn't it?
It is, but when it comes to like Mickey, that's not really what we're talking about. It's more like a digital sort of trademark that you can't really. Copyright laws are fucked, man. Like it's hard to
Eh,
say.
sometimes I think some of these were just designed to be exploited one way or another.
Well, kind of. I mean, the Copyright Term Extension Act of 1998 that was lobbied by Disney because they wanted to keep Mickey Mouse as part of their trademark. You know, like something that identified them. And it
I
wasn't
mean,
just them. It was Disney. It was Universal, Viacom, Time Warner, NBA, ESPN, all of that. They did the same thing because they did not want Mickey Mouse to be utilized by other people. And that's pretty much like what trademarks do. You know, they're supposed to be there for like customer protection, right? So
Well, to be honest,
if some rando made like a Mickey Mouse backpack or whatever, and they're trying to sell it. It's not actually a Disney thing, so they could
look,
just
to
lie
be
about it.
Yeah,
honest,
go on.
up until about 2010, maybe 2015, Disney was reliant on Mickey.
Hmm. Yeah,
Now, I could understand if they went in and asked specifically for an exemption for the character, which is still like the base of their multi-billion-dollar company. But the whole thing about changing copyright law to affect everything, just no.
yeah. Well, what are they going to do? Ask for exemption from who? Like, what are they talking about? At that point, it has to be a copyright, and that's what they did back in 1928. That's
But
why after 95 years, that's why it's now public domain. So there you
I
go.
I would have felt better if Disney had turned around and either changed the way Mickey Mouse was held or asked for an exemption simply because it was Mickey Mouse was still sort of like the core thing for their company.
and it still is.
Well,
Instead
it
of
is.
going
It
down the
is.
path of wasting money trying to change copyright law to suit them, it's fucking ridiculous.
And that is precisely what they've done. In fact, they've done this. Good lord, about over a dozen times. This was copyright law, and let's see, how did they change it?
Hey, let me just pop the article back up again. Hold on a second. Let me.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Now, look. The fact of the fact of the matter is, like, what used to be like 70 years is
Yeah.
yeah.
See,
And I mean, the
I was
trademark.
looking at the copyright laws from 1790 up until 1998, and 1998 was the Disney one, which made it to be 95 years. But
Holy
now it's
shit.
been 95 years. So in 1928, 95 years later, yeah, all of a sudden, Steamboat Willie is not necessarily. Now it's public domain.
Right. And again, to follow on with the trend of it again, like look, you've got some people releasing, the horror versions like Infestation
Yep.
Origins.
Holy shit. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, they could totally do that.
It looks like if
A
Disney.
really cursed and diseased, Steamboat Willie.
It looks like Disney World got infected by Halo Flood,
Right.
doesn't it?
And then you got another thing called, Mickey Mouse's Trap, which yeah.
Hey Jolt,
Yes.
watch this become so popular that people are going to start making horror indie games out of it, and who knows, that even might become a success that even Disney might get involved with it too. Like their
I'm
own version
sure
of
they
Five
will.
Nights at Freddy's, like their own version of like a free roam Five Nights at Freddy's, or I don't know, Silent Hill. It'll depend, like
Right.
for the fans to create whatever
So here's
horrors.
the thing. Here's the thing that that's kind of been on my mind a bit, and like why now when this sort of thing happens, when something enters the public domain, people create these dark versions of these characters and what have you. Like that's the first thing they go for is like the dark, cursed horror sort of thing. They just curse the character, like make a cursed version of it, and bam.
You know, what was Garfield and like John Carpenter's The Thing.
I'm kind of surprised why no one decided to make a video game of the actual episode itself.
Oh, it will. It will. Trust me. It's on its way eventually. Whenever you least expect it, it's gonna come. And whatever when you least expect it, boom! It's like a major hit, and like down the years, fandom this, fandom that, and you become more so popular. You're gonna find even all sorts of fan products on like Walmart or Target or I mean, who knows? But maybe even fucking Costco.
I mean,
But
at that point, yeah, I can see that as being something that's completely, you know,
yeah,
completely utterly possible.
I mean, it is a point. I mean, it is possible. We have the chances, and who knows? Whenever fate decides to put this on us too.
Right, right.
And again, I mean, who? I mean, you like you remember how like the first few days whenever Five Nights at Freddy's 1 came out, did people expect that? No, they didn't.
No.
And fast forward a couple of like say years later, and look at where we are now. Like, look at what's available, whatnot, right?
Yeah. And yeah, look at how that's turned out.
Yeah, I gotta say, AI is looking pretty scary. I mean, impressive, but scary.
Yeah, indeed. But I mean, you also see like a lot of let's say different franchises with that happening too. Yeah, and pretty sure horror Disney is gonna. I mean, it's gonna end up having its own identity eventually, and
I mean, we've still got look at how many Disney characters that we have entered the public domain now. You got that.
Well,
You
you
got
got Mickey and Minnie. I mean, that's pretty good.
yeah. Now and then after Peter Pan has entered the public domain.
Peter
Bambi
Pan.
and Winnie the Pooh have been in the public
Oh,
domain a bit earlier than
I,
that.
I don't even want to know what they're going to do with Bambi.
Oh Lord.
Well,
Oh Lord.
that's the thing. Okay, like, yeah, it doesn't. When it comes to public domain, yes, these IPs, these intellectual properties, they can be used for pretty much anything. When it comes to like remixes or adaptations or just flat out using them for even commercial purposes because no company owns them, right? It's literally public domain. So if you wanted, if you legit wanted to make t-shirts of Steamboat Willie, okay, like you could do that and sell that for commercial gain. Now, that does not necessarily mean that Disney's not going to be very upset about that because they lost that property.
Or who knows? They might try to buy it or outright steal it too. Because hey, it's my property. How dare you
Well,
make fan art?
there's a difference. We spoke about this before. Difference between copyright and trademark. Because trademark, if like the whole Mickey ears or whatever, like that's the trademark for the Disney logo, and that does not have any time limit. Now, time limits exist on something like copyright, which is 95 years. That's why when that came out in 1928, now it's 2024. It's been 95 years, and now it's public domain. Anybody could use it. Anybody can make a profit off of it. And Disney's pretty pissed off. But the thing is, they've used that same character even after that happened. like in 1930, they were still using that design of the Steamboat Willie, uh, Mickey Mouse. So, like, what does that mean specifically?
Yeah, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Like, do they have legal claim to it or no?
In all honesty, who the fuck knows at this point? It's
It's been 95 years. I mean, that was the law. I mean, that's what they said. But being Disney, with all their billions of dollars, somehow they still have billions of dollars even after all their
Still
freaking
do.
flop.
Now, you know what? To answer Noble's question regarding Bambi, I'm sure you probably this, but
Oh goodness, what about him?
yes, they've now made Bambi: The Reckoning is going to put Bambi on a vengeful and horror-filled quest. Following the death of
so.
Bambi's mother.
So you're telling me that there's gonna be like a fan-made movie of Bambi turning to this Wendigo and going on a bloodlust for whoever killed his mother?
Is it fan made?
Yes, it is because Bambi's public domain now. Since
Well, okay.
Wendigo
that case-
Bambi, here we go. You gotta team up with like his skinwalker buddy. That'll be perfect.
Yeah,
Though.
it's stuff like that where I don't know. If you want to
Team up with the
redo
buddy
Bambi,
that's
like how
sociopaths.
can you redo Bambi and make it better? Like how can
Right.
you actually do that?
Maybe all you need to play is a couple of horror games, and the ideals will come straight towards
Nah,
you.
man, like it was a good movie, back in the day. Like the music score, the whole message, everything was great. So I don't even if it's public domain, sure they could like adapt it, I guess. But
That
no,
and what else? Some
you know
kind
what
of like
else has entered public?
horrors.
You know what else you can try and imagine would be, what can you imagine is what about Peter Pan? That's now entered public domain. What could we do with what could you do with it? What can you imagine people doing with it? No.
well, whatever that last animated movie was, or that CGI
Yeah, Peter Pan
crap.
and Wendy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever that no, Wendy and Peter Pan, because Wendy comes first.
Right.
Whatever the crap that movie was, yeah, no, just forget that even happened. Make something else.
Yep.
Hell, I'd even like go back to the original animation and just try to, be true to the source material, but make that animation like CGI or like live action or like a combination of it,
Or
and just make
something.
it look freaking good.
Yeah, like something like with the edginess of the 1990s or like the early 2000s.
No, just like legit remake the movie, like in that art style. I think that would be a hell of a lot more profitable than all this like woke agenda crap. Yeah, it'd be like way more profitable.
By the way, funny you mention that too, is because well, sorry, Jolt, for just getting away too. But there's been a point before that, like in 2023, that Disney they felt the sting of like wokeness, and I think like I mean it's like some articles saying that they were gonna ditch wokeness. Because I mean, let's be honest. You only appease a certain minority with all this diversity, wokeness, and even then, those people aren't going to be their top investors for this.
It
It's a
it
bunch
was a bad business decision for the company. It really
extremely.
was, because at the end of the day, they're like with that kind of business model, they're pandering to a niche market of radicalized, alt leftist type of politically driven people. But at the end of the day, if they want to actually be Disney, if they really want to be like a family friendly, like, hey, anybody could watch this movie and like it, at that point, I think that they lost their trajectory of like what they were supposed to be doing. So
Yep.
right now, Disney has just become this I don't know,
Clusterfuck.
a shell of its former self. It's a bummer that it happened. You know, hopefully they can learn from their mistakes and maybe not pander to this woke crowd of radical political monsters or whatever.
Now, and
Yeah, maybe they'll get better. I mean, who
See,
knows?
but
Hopefully.
in the direction that Disney's headed right now,
I know it's messed up.
how
Like it's hard to be positive.
yeah, yeah, I get that. It's knowing that this is the trajectory that Disney has chosen to take.
Yeah.
the thing is, I mean, is that even if it was like a niche market, sure, people could experiment to this and that or whatnot too. But Jesus Christ, not go all the way in because you're gonna, fuck up, like what is known to work. And sure, I mean, of course they can fix the notes back to where it would be, but the real problem is how long is that gonna take, and how much money is that gonna cost them, right? Even more than it already did. Because I mean, clearly the writing was on the fucking wall. But did they stop and listen? No, they didn't.
See, I'm not even going to name a particular movie here, but I'm sure you can understand this trope.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's pretty darn obvious. If like there's some token diversity person who makes the main character look like a piece of garbage, and they're just promoting an agenda. Like,
Yep.
is that something that like you really want to see? Like,
Matter of fact, I
No,
mean,
as a matter of fact, no, I probably wouldn't want to watch. I
there
wouldn't
was
wanna
like
even
if you were watching Star Wars, right, and you saw Luke Skywalker, the dude who defeated Darth Sidious, and he just throws his lightsaber off his shoulder, like, is that really someone you want to care about? That's just one thing.
yeah,
Disney has done this multiple times. They don't care.
no, they don't. That's the
Not in
bigger
the
thing
slightest.
about it. They don't even give a damn.
Not in the
Well, no,
slightest. No.
technically they do. They're just going down the wrong path.
Yeah, they
Otherwise,
care
they
about
would be
profit.
pandering. The thing is that if they didn't care, then they wouldn't be trying to pander at all to who they think is the actual audience. In other words, a small group of particularly unhinged and potentially violent individuals, of which you want to have absolutely nothing to do with.
And Noble, you are completely correct about that, or at least in my opinion, because I think you're right that Disney does not really understand their audience. Like they think that pandering to this small radical crowd of politically radical monsters, they think that's going to get them more money and more viewers. They think that by attacking men and attacking their fan base is somehow going to get them more money.
You
But
mean like
they're
the Gillette
wrong
effect?
every time, and they just don't learn their lesson.
Yep,
You mean like
that is
the
true.
Gillette effect?
Yeah, pretty much. The Gillette effect. That's another big thing too, because goddamn, they just have to be bullied.
Well, Disney's freaking out right now because all this Steamboat Willie stuff. Oh boy.
The writing was on the wall, and they chose to do fuck all about it, right?
About 20 minutes before this podcast started, I watched a YouTube video, and some guy was like, "Hey guys, check out this new animation I made." And it was literally just Steamboat Willie.
Oh,
Technically, it's in public domain, right? So he can claim that. Like,
the
it was
original.
pretty funny. Yeah, it was the whole damn thing. Obviously, it was satire, like it was a joke, and like all of his commenters were like, "Oh, it's so nice to see an indie person, animate whatever." It was hilarious.
Bro, people are that fucking clueless, aren't they?
I I thought it was pretty funny, considering
Yeah.
it's in public domain now. You know.
And at the same time, I mean, like the only thing, I mean, sure, it could be true. I mean, as a matter of fact, you can have like a lot of people reanimate it in like different ways.
Oh,
Let's say,
that's legal. Yeah,
yeah,
they can do that.
let's say a certain animator such as Meat Canyon.
Oh, yeah. What do you think he's gonna do about this?
Probably some like nightmare fuel. The usual.
A lot of people have been jumping on Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, and
Oh
it's and
yeah.
like and the time it really the time is ripe for that sort of thing.
Yep. And as a matter of fact, I mean, like I said before, like all the fan art and all the AI that can come off it is just gonna be phenomenal.
AI is getting scary.
Very.
This is something that like this isn't even a topic. I'm just gonna bring this up for like a minute or so. My friend just sent me a link to some program that made some really cool looking AI art. And guys, I gotta say, I understand why digital artists are fucking terrified of what AI art has to come. Cause good lord, like I would pay $100 for this stuff and like work like wait for like a month. And now I can just do it in like a click of a button. It's actually that crazy. Yeah, AI is
Yeah.
getting pretty fucking powerful. Like in the art form, bro, I got some cool art in like a minute.
And
Crazy.
something that you would have cost you like what, $80, you got it for free.
Right.
Yeah.
And and it's just like and it's quick, it's retriable, and if you don't like it, you can just fire the prompts up again.
It's basically having fun.
And it's always unique every time too. Like whenever you refresh it, it's like the AI is like legit thinking and like making new things.
No,
So
it's not.
no, well, it is because you're never going to see the same image ever again.
I
Unless
mean,
you save
it
it.
Look, I
could,
had a
but
play with the site, and I'm not personally impressed.
I'm not as impressed as I would have thought that I would be. You're right about that, Noble.
yeah,
I
I
think I'm
mean,
like 90% there, possibly,
yeah,
because I was putting in some prompts to it earlier, and it it did not get to what I wanted it to be. Like it thought differently. But if I
Ah,
gave this to a human person, they would have absolutely customized it and made it perfect. So AI is not totally there. I think it's about 90%. It's getting close.
it's getting there. But again, there's a lot of messing around with the algorithms and that, and the
Mm.
more complex ones just do it the best. But
oh,
remember,
I've
you gotta remember the free ones can only do so. I think to a certain degree.
mm-hmm. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, hey Jolt,
Yes.
I'll see. Also, let me send you pictures, well, too, though, of like some of the well, some of them as well too. Like I've been messing around with AI. Like it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. I was bored. I was like having the intrusive thoughts winning, and was messing around with AI. And let me tell you, I
Mm.
had a blast. All right, and I'm
Ain't it
also,
fun?
yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
send
ain't
you.
AI fun?
Oh yeah,
To mess around with.
oh yeah. Uh let's see. Here we go. I don't remember at this time, which AI I use, but I mean, show it to everyone if you can.
Might we'll see. But I think really, honestly, I think at right now, at where we're at right now, scary stuff. And I
Yeah.
think this is pretty much all the time that we've got for the show.
Ah. Oh
Yeah,
well.
I know. Much as I ramble on, I think who'd like to just start up and say a quick closing statement, like with maybe see what people are looking forward to in the year ahead, in the year that lies ahead of us.
Well, I'll start first. I mean, sure. I mean, we don't know for sure what lies in wait ahead of time, but it's uh it's something, that's for sure. And there's always the same ways to get through it all, like vibing through it,
Oh,
and let like fate decide on top of our decisions as to where we're ever gonna land. Right, Jolt?
Yeah, I guess really we can just
And also on another side note is that I noticed that instead of sticking to a schedule. We were just so chatty this time, weren't we?
I think we just got like it just became absolutely chaotic. That's what's happened.
Hey, I mean, at least we had fun.
Hey, it's just a bunch of friends, shooting the stuff, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyway, who's next for our closing statement?
Noble?
Well, there are a couple of things I was hoping to cover, like that whole furry campaign thing, the woman who decided to go off at some kid who played Tetris. I mean, taking a jab at a 13-year-old's a little low. Google's incognito thing, that was
Yeah,
funny.
I mean, spy. It's
Wish we had
crazy
more
how
time.
now like all the big tech stuff are basically now obsessed with spying on us, and that's something we can kind of look forward to this year, like for better or worse, because
Or people need to read and understand things better because holy shit, the level of stupidity I've come across over the last couple of years. How are people not Darwin? How are people not reached the Darwin Awards yet? I mean, shit.
Yet. Oh well, I mean that's on them, right?
Yeah.
last of all, Avira.
Well, I have to say, when it comes to like this year, I got like three cons planned, so I'll be attending those.
Albeit, yes, some of
I
them.
don't know about like when it comes to AI, because within like the next few months, I think it's going to be getting pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. All the
I do
work
have a lot
side.
of high hopes for this year, though. I'm currently in a loving relationship, so I'm
Hey,
super happy about that. Yeah. Got
well,
a
I'm
new
happy to
job
hear.
lined up and everything, so yeah,
Things are looking good, eh?
I think so. Yeah,
Let's hope they stay that way too. That's another thing.
I 2024 just started and it's already looking great for me. So I'm so thankful for my friends and family, and I hope everyone listening today. Hey, season 7, guys. We are the world's longest continuously running furry themed podcast on the planet. Hell
Real.
yeah! This is incredible, guys. Oh, I can't wait to see you
No,
next week.
and we do this week in, week out,
Oh yeah,
with for the most part. But
guys, it's been incredible. So yeah, I don't really have anything much else to say except I had a good holiday. I hope you guys did too. And I'll see you next time.
And until then,
likewise, likewise, as always, for those tuning in, as always, our episodes can be found on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Play.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more platforms further down the line. I hope hope 2024 brings you many blessings, opportunities, and fluff. And this is us signing off for the week. Farewell. Until
and
next
until
time.
then.
God bless. Bye.